Someone in your life is extracting information from you right now. Not by threatening you, not by forcing you, by asking you questions that sound completely normal. Questions that sound like care, like friendship, like the kind of honesty you have been waiting for someone to offer you. And every time you answer, you hand them something you cannot take back. Here is what nobody warns you about. The people who damage your life the most are rarely the ones who attack you openly. Open attacks you can defend against. What you cannot defend against is a question asked in the right tone, at the right moment, by someone whose face looks like they are on your side. Machiavelli spent his life watching powerful people collapse, not in battles, not in wars, in conversations. One wrong answer at the wrong table cost men their alliances, their reputations, their freedom. And he noticed the same pattern every single time. The ones who fell were not the ones who got overpowered. They were the ones who got asked. This video is about 6 questions, 6 sentences being used on you constantly, at work, at home, in your closest relationships, by people you trust completely. Each one is designed to take something from you that you did not intend to give. Your compliance, your vulnerabilities, your boundaries, your sources, your accountability from others, and finally, your ability to question anything at all. You have been answering all 6 automatically your entire life. After today, you will never hear them the same way again. The extraction stops here. 1. Can I be honest with you? This one is first because it is the most seductive. It wraps itself in the language of courage, of respect, of the kind of rare friendship where someone cares enough to say the difficult thing. When someone looks at you and says, "Can I be honest with you?" every instinct you have says yes. Because what kind of person refuses honesty? What kind of person closes the door on someone trying to tell them the truth? So you say, "Of course." And in that single moment, before a single word of substance has been spoken, you have already agreed to receive whatever is coming next, with your defenses down. You have been disarmed before the weapon was even drawn. That is the entire move. The question is not about honesty. The question is about positioning. It asks you to lower your guard before you know what you are lowering it for. And once you say yes, you cannot push back on what follows without looking like the problem. They were just being honest. They were just being brave. You become the one who cannot handle truth. But pay close attention to this. People who genuinely care about you do not ask permission before they tell you something hard. They just tell you. Because real honesty does not need a runway. It does not need your agreement before it arrives. It does not need you soft and receptive before it lands. Only a strike, disguised as truth, needs that preparation. Think about every person in your life who uses this phrase regularly. Can I be honest with you? What follows it? Does it build you? Does it open something in you? Or does it always seem to arrive right before something that slows you down, makes you second-guess yourself, plants a seed of doubt right at the moment you were starting to move? Epictetus wrote that people are disturbed not by events, but by their judgments about events. The judgment being installed when someone says, "Can I be honest with you?" is this: what I am about to say is truth, not opinion. And you agreed to receive it as truth before you heard a single word. That framing belongs to them, not to you. You are allowed to refuse the frame without refusing the person. Next time this arrives, you do not say, "Of course." You say whatever you want. I will decide what I do with it. Watch the hesitation. Watch them recalibrate. Because the entire move required your automatic yes. The moment that yes stops being automatic, the weapon loses its edge. 2. Are you okay? This is the question that will surprise you most on this list, because it sounds like the most human thing one person can ask another. Are you okay? 3 words that feel like warmth, like someone stopping in the middle of their own life to check on yours. And sometimes that is exactly what it is. But sometimes it is something else entirely. And the modern world has made it something else far more often than you realize. Here is something most people have never examined about themselves. Why do you post at midnight? Not the obvious answer. The real one. You had a hard day. Something is sitting heavy in your chest. And instead of sitting with it, instead of calling one person who actually knows you, you open your phone and you post something vague. Something that communicates pain without naming it. A lyric, a quote, a photo with no caption. And then you watch. You wait for the notifications. The "Are you okays" flood into the comments, into your DMs, dozens of them. And for approximately 11 minutes, your nervous system calms down. That is dopamine. That is your brain being tricked into feeling connected, without the cost of actual vulnerability. The neuroscience is straightforward. Social validation activates the same reward pathway as food when you are hungry. Your brain cannot fully distinguish between genuine human connection and a notification. It just registers. Someone responded. Something happened. You are not invisible, and it releases the chemical that says you are safe. But here is what that exchange actually cost you. Every person who commented, "Are you okay now?" has a data point. They know you are not okay. They know something is wrong. They do not know the details yet. But they know the door is open, and some of them will knock on it later. Not to help, but to enter. This is the same mechanism in person. When someone asks, "Are you okay?" with that specific tone, the lowered voice, the eyes that hold yours a beat too long, and you begin to answer honestly, you are not sharing a moment of connection. You are filing a report. You are telling someone exactly where you are vulnerable, where you are stretched, where you are not as solid as you appear. The financial pressure you have not mentioned to anyone. The relationship that is slowly fracturing. The thing that wakes you up at 3 in the morning. You think you are being seen. In reality, you are being mapped. Information given in an emotional state is the information that stays. They may not remember your specific words, but they remember the shape of your weakness. And 3 months later, when they need you to agree to something you would normally push back on, they will know precisely which door to knock on, which pressure point reaches you fastest, which version of your fear makes you the most agreeable. Machiavelli wrote that the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Reverse it. The first thing to examine when someone asks you a question is not the question itself. It is the timing and who is asking it. People who genuinely care observe before they ask. They already know something is wrong before they say a word. People who scan need the question because they have not been paying attention. They need the data now. Still moving forward. That is your answer. It gives them nothing to map. 3. You don't mind, right? They already did it. That is the first thing to understand. By the time this question reaches your ears, the decision has been made. The action has been taken. Your Saturday has been given away. Your name has been attached to something. Your private information has been shared. Your credit has been absorbed quietly into someone else's success. It is already done, and now they are asking if you mind. This is not a question. This is a notification dressed in the clothing of a request. And it is engineered with precision. Because the social pressure inside those words is enormous. Saying no, actually I do mind, makes you difficult, makes you petty, makes you the person who cannot let small things go. The question has already decided what the correct response is supposed to be before you open your mouth. So you say, "It is fine," and you mean it a little because it is already done anyway. Here is the point. Every time you say it is fine about something you were never asked, you move the line. You do not keep the peace. You raise the ceiling of what they believe they can take from you without asking. The next time will be slightly larger. The time after that, larger still. Not because they are deliberately calculating it, because you have been teaching them, through your compliance, that this is how you operate. Act first. Ask after. Sign off guaranteed. Machiavelli wrote that he who causes another to become powerful ruins himself. Your silence is not neutral. It is construction material for someone else's authority over your life. The most powerful response to this question is not anger. Anger gives them something to react to. What stops the pattern is something far simpler. Next time, ask me first. No heat, no confrontation, no long explanation of why, just that sentence. You are not undoing what already happened. You are making the future impossible to mistake. Stop putting your name on documents you never agreed to sign. The moment you do, you become someone people inform instead of someone people consult. That shift happens one small yes at a time. 4. Who told you that? You come with evidence. You come prepared. You know what they did. You have the information. You walk into the confrontation with the truth in your hands and you put it on the table directly. And within seconds, without addressing a single thing you brought, without acknowledging any of it, they look at you and ask 4 words. Who told you that? The confrontation is already over. You just do not know it yet, because the subject has changed. You came to talk about what they did. Now you are talking about how you found out. You came as someone holding them accountable. Now you are the one being questioned. They redirected the entire conversation with 4 words, and you are now scrambling inside their frame. Think about how this same deflection operates in the age of screenshots and shared conversations. Someone says something damaging about you in a group chat. A friend shows you. You confront the person directly. And the first thing out of their mouth is never about what they said. It is who showed you. They want the name. They want to identify who broke ranks, because the actual content of what they said is secondary to eliminating the person who let you see it. The real threat to them is not the confrontation. It is the existence of someone in their circle who would rather you knew the truth. And if you give them the name, 2 catastrophic things happen simultaneously. You betray the person who trusted you with the truth, and you hand your opponent a new mission that has nothing to do with what they did. That mission is to discredit the source, isolate them, make sure that channel of truth is permanently closed. The next time something happens, you will be the last to know, because the one person willing to tell you has been burned by you. Think about what a source actually is. It is your ability to know what is happening around you. The people willing to tell you the truth when the truth is dangerous are among the rarest things in any life. When you burn one of them, you do not just lose a person. You go partially blind in a situation where you desperately need to see clearly. Machiavelli wrote that men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, because everyone can see but few can touch. They want to see the source so they can touch it, remove it, make sure it never sees them again. Do not let them see it. When who told you that arrives, you return it with one question. Does it matter whether it is true? That is the only conversation worth having. 5. Are we okay? Watch when this question appears, not what it says, when it appears, because the timing is not random. This question arrives right after they have done something they know they should not have done, after the betrayal, after the lie that got exposed, after the moment where accountability should have arrived, and instead this question shows up wearing accountability's clothes. Are we okay? 3 words that perform a disappearing act. And in the current world of social media, this erasure mechanism has found a new stage. Someone does something that hurts you. You pull back slightly. You go quiet, and before you have even had time to process what happened, they post something. A story about loyalty, a quote about forgiveness, a reel about how life is too short to hold grudges. They are not posting for their audience, they are posting for you. They are creating social pressure through public content, making the narrative about moving forward before the actual conversation about what happened has even begun. The "Are we okay?" becomes a performance broadcast to everyone who follows them, and your silence in response reads as the problem. In private, the mechanism is identical. If you say yes, everything vanishes. no acknowledgement, no accountability, no repair. The thing they did gets signed away quietly with your cooperation and officially ceases to exist. If you say no, you become the obstacle, the one who cannot move forward. They stand there looking willing, and you stand there looking like the one making this harder than it needs to be. This is not a question seeking resolution. It is a question seeking erasure. There is no "I was wrong" inside it. No "I understand why that hurt." Just a question that makes your yes do all the work that their accountability should have done. Real repair requires the problem to exist first. You cannot fix something that has already been declared fixed before you agreed. You are allowed to sit in what happened before you decide what comes next. You are allowed to say, "I need time with this." Not as punishment, not as leverage, as honesty. The thing that occurred deserves to be real before it gets resolved. Do not let anyone hand you a pen and ask you to sign something closed before it has been properly opened. 6. You trust me, right? This is not the last question. This is the only question. Everything before this runs on the power that this single question generates. Remove this one, and the other 5 lose most of their force. Keep it, and every other trap on this list becomes almost automatic. Because once you have said yes to this, once you have handed over that word, you have created a weapon that gets used on you every single time something feels wrong, and you try to say so. I thought you trusted me. You said you trusted me. Why are you questioning me if you trust me? Your own words, your own yes, turned into a cage that closes tighter every time you try to see clearly. Now look at what trust has become in the world we actually live in. We perform it publicly before we have tested it privately. Someone follows you. You follow back. You like their content. They like yours. You comment. They comment. Slowly, without any explicit conversation, a relationship gets built in public that carries the social weight of trust without any of the foundation. And then they ask something of you, something that requires you to actually extend trust in a way that has real consequences. And because of everything that already happened publicly, because of the mutual engagement and the shared content and the digital proximity, saying no feels like a betrayal of something you already agreed to. You did not agree to it. You were socially maneuvered into the appearance of agreement. This is the modern version of "you trust me, right?" It does not always arrive as a direct question. Sometimes it arrives as a pattern of behavior that builds an assumed intimacy. And by the time the actual ask comes, the groundwork has been so thoroughly laid that refusal feels unreasonable. Think back through every trap in this video. Why did you absorb a violation you never chose? Because you trusted them. Why did you lower your guard before the strike landed? Because you trusted them. Why did you give up the name of someone who put themselves at risk for your benefit? Because you trusted them. Why did you erase something that deserved real accountability? Because you trusted them. Every single one ran on the same fuel. And this question is where that fuel is made. Now stop before you look outward. Have you ever asked it? Have you ever said you trust me right at a moment when your actions had not yet earned it? Have you ever built public familiarity with someone to soften a future ask, not consciously, but in effect? These questions live inside all of us. Recognizing that does not make you a bad person. It makes you honest in a way most people actively avoid. Machiavelli wrote that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. The permission to be deceived is not stolen. It is given, voluntarily, in response to this question, with one word, yes. The people who have genuinely earned your trust never ask for it. Their behavior answered the question before it was ever spoken. Every time they could have betrayed you and did not. Every time the easier path was at your expense and they chose differently. That is what trust actually is. Not a declaration, not a public performance, not a pattern of engagement on a screen. When this question comes, you do not say yes and you do not say no. You say, I pay attention to what people do. Watch what they do with that answer. The ones who deserve your trust will nod and move forward. The ones who needed that yes will press. And in that pressure, you will see exactly why they needed the word so badly. Because the behavior was never going to hold up on its own. Go back to that opening scene. The same room, the same person across from you, the same question being asked. But something is different now. You hear the question, and underneath it, before you even process the words fully, you feel the mechanism, the thing it is reaching for, what it is designed to extract, and what it plans to do with what it takes. And you sit in the silence before you answer. That silence is yours. It has always been yours. You just spent years giving it away the moment it appeared, because the space between a question and an answer felt like something that needed to be filled immediately. Like hesitation was the same as guilt. It is not. That silence is the only place in any conversation where real power lives. Inside it, you are not reacting, you are choosing. And there is a distance between those two things that most people never learn to feel. We live in a world built to eliminate that silence. Notifications, read receipts. The entire architecture of how we communicate now is designed to make the pause feel suspicious, feel rude, feel like something you owe an explanation for. They took the one moment where you hold all the power and made it socially uncomfortable to keep it. Keep it anyway. The only answer that truly belongs to you is the one you would give with no pressure attached. Every answer given under pressure belongs to the pressure, not to you. If something in this shifted the way you see a conversation you have already had, write it below. I own my answers. Let me see who is done giving theirs away for free.